and welcome to MTG Adventures. Today I'm glad to introduce you the second episode of our series, the ElectroEnd Chronicles. So this episode is dedicated to the archetype BlueEnd. This is actually the first deck where I used to play the card Living End, so this is a really important deck to me. This deck came to us from a player on MTGO called 1310 Hazard, and this guy did a 5-0 with the deck when no one was thinking about playing it, because he totally brute the deck, and a lot of people just thought that, wow, this deck is so cool. So we will go to the list of this guy just later in this episode. To begin, I want to introduce to you to the most important card we have in the deck, and this is a card came out with the edition Amonkhet. Amonkhet is an edition of Magic, came out in April 2017, and this edition brought us many things important for the deck. The first thing and the most important thing was As Foretold. This card is really nice, and this is the way to play free spells without the cascade. This is the first way we get, actually, in the story of Magic, to play the spells without cascade in the modern format. So this is an enchantment for 2 and 1 blue, and said at the beginning of your upkeep, put a time counter on As Foretold. Once each turn, each turn is really important because you can do it at in your own turn and during the opponent's turn. On each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of time counters on As Foretold. So basically, we can play As Foretold and play directly one of our 0-cost spell, but we can also let the As Foretold grow, and we can also play those spells plus the others with the right mana costs we have. So this card is amazing, and it was amazing to play the spells. And the spells we choose to play with this card on the archetype playing blue, with, of course, Living End and the Ancestral Vision. Those are the 3 spells we choose to play in this BlueEnd deck. Living End is, of course, the spell we talked about, but Living End is now a spell we want to have in our hand, rather than in the other deck. We didn't want it to have it in our hand because we want to cascade to it. So I think it's an upside to have Living in our hand is a good thing. Ancestral Vision, obviously, it's a spell we can just take for 1 blue at the beginning of the game, and also we can just play it for free with As Foretold. I did it. It feels so good to play an Ancestral Vision for free and just draw 3 for 0 mana cost. So that's nice, but I discovered with the time the most goal of this card is usually to you usually wait until this card is resolving, or you had it to find the Living End and to win the game. Sometimes you can have it to protect your Living End, but usually when you Living End, you have to win the game. So usually it's to find the Living End. I will talk just a few seconds about the Restore Balance card, because when As Foretold came out, it's the time the deck Restore Balance came in the party for real. So just saying it, if you want to have more information about the Restore Balance deck, you can check it on YouTube and on internet. But our topic now is about the BlueEnd deck. So the other things Amonkhet brought to us are the new cyclers. New cyclers, and especially blue cyclers. We already have some blue cyclers we can found back in the day, like in the Alara Reborn block, and this is the first one we see here, is the Architects of Will. This is for 2 blue black 3/3. When those guys come into play, look at the top 3 cards of target's player's library, then put them back in any order. That means you can target any players, you are the opponent, and it's cycling for 1 blue or 1 black. So in the case we are playing, it's 1 blue. With Amonkhet, we have the best cycler we can have in the format in blue, It's the Curator of Mysteries. This guy is just a 4/4 flying 4/4 with a static ability saying when you cycle or discard another card, you can scry 1, and this is cycling for 1 blue. So this is ideal. This is ideal for many reasons. This card is saying you can cycling it just to go to our plan, but if you have to face some grave 8 or something, you can just slamming it into the board, and attacking with a 4/4 flying is not no joke. So we can also play this guy against to have another against grave 8. I was about to say, but to have another plan against grave 8 we will face. After, with the Hour of Devastation, we have the Stripped Weaver Winder. For 7, it's a 5/5, got X-Proof and cycling for 1. That's a really good card because it's blue, because cycling for 1, and X-Proof is no joke. We can have those guys, many of those guys on the board, and the opponent is not able to do something until unless he gets Vras. After, with the additions, we have new blue cyclers as the Wind Color Haven. For 6, we have a 4/3 flying cycling for 1 blue, so that's okay. And when you cycle Wind Color Haven, target creature gains flying until the end of the turn. So the problem with this guy is if you don't have creatures and you cycle, you have to give flying to one of your opponent's creatures. So I advise you to cycle this guy if you want to use it, not before the combat phase. Waker of Waves came to us with Magic 21, and this card is really nice for the BlueEnd deck nowadays because this is a 7/7 for 7, and this card has the static ability: creatures you opponent's control get -1/-0, and you can play 1 in blue, discard Waker of Waves, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So this card technically hasn't got the cycling ability, but this ability is for our deck just better. The only problem is the 2 mana cost. This is a problem because in this deck we want to cycle the most we can. So for example, if I have 2 lands, and I have 1 cycler for 1, I can do 1 cycler, and if I do another cycler, I can just use the other one to draw 2 cards and have 2 cyclers in my grave and just go forward to my plan just faster. If I have this guy, in my hand, I have to tap 2, and if I draw another cycler, I have to put it in the grave to not draw another things. That's why this ability is good. But if I have 2, I have to put 1 in my hand, and I can just cycling it just right now. And the other option is, of course, if I have just two land and I cycle 1 for 1 blue and I draw this guy, I can cycle directly. But this guy is still really good in the BlueEnd. I think this is the card we have to choose as a cycler. Also, we're gonna play, of course, 3 Trace. 3 Trace came in from the Future block, and this Future set, sorry. And this card is amazing, as I already said in the first episode. This is a free cycler for 2 life, simple 3/4, must have. After this, you can ask what will be the rest of the deck. So I will introduce to you what is the core of the deck, but you can also do some choices between the cards I'm introducing to you. This is exactly the same with the cyclers I'm introducing to you just now, because Windcolor Haven is not a card I'm playing, but you can run it if you really want to. You can do this choice. So other things important in the deck, of course, we are playing a control deck, so we have counter spells. And most important counter spell in the deck is probably Remand. Remand is an amazing card in the deck. You have to run for, especially in this BlueEnd deck, because as we are playing a combo control deck, 1 turn could be key between the lose and win. So Remand is basically, you can counter the spell, any spell for 1 and 2, draw a card, and have the card you need, or just win a turn. So basically, sometimes you are doing just a time warp by playing Remand. So you have to have 4 of this card. This is really amazing. Cryptic Command came second in those really important spells. In this version, we run 3 to 4 Cryptic Command because this card is just, okay, you all know Cryptic Command. This card is just amazing. So we really need to have 3 to 4 because Also, this card allows us to return target permanent to its owner, and so we can fight Grave 8 through this card. I explain. Maybe sometimes you have a Grave 8 card is just stuck in you with your hand, and you can't do nothing because you can't play your living in anyway. You can end of turn Cryptic Command, bounce the thing, and after play in your turn, you're living in with As Foretold. So of course it counter spells draw card. You can also have, if you have a big fight with your opponents, you have to do a living end, but opponents also putting back a lot of creatures on the board. You can just tap all the creatures, win the match just thanks to Cryptic Command. So really important, really key card, really powerful card. Mana Leak came at the third position. This card is basically 2 mana art counter spell if my opponent can pay the 3. So we have to protect what we are doing. The only downside of this card is because if you counter some early creatures, those creatures will probably came back with your living in when you will do it. So you have to be careful about this. This is the upside of remand. You can remand an important creature that you don't want to see on the board at this moment, and after play your living in and destroy this creature. Don't have this creature in the grave coming back to your living in. Other counter spells we can mention are Force of Negation, but this is more recent one, printed more recently in the Modern Horizon set. Force of Negation is basically a free counter spell during your opponent's turns. If you have some blue cards to exile to it, and other way it's just like negate, just exiling the card of your opponent, but for 3. So this is a really nice card, especially if you want to protect something. But the thing is, As Foretold is in ritual, so Force of Negation is not gonna protect it because it's not an instant speed. But you have to run this card also because you will face a lot of combos, you will face a lot of discards. So this card is really powerful. You should run at least 2 to 3 in this deck. I put these 2 other counter spells here because in previous versions of the deck, we have this player's right, this counter spell, Supreme Will. It's basically for 3. We can't see the mana cost here, but it's exactly the same of Akmachas, despite the fact it's 2 and 1 blue. You can counter target spell unless its controller pay 3. So this is just Mana Leak. And you can also look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. So the goal of this card is to have a counter spell also able to find your living in or your solution or your As Foretold in your deck. I want to replace this card nowadays with Akmar's Charm because we are playing mono blue, so the 3 blue are really okay, and this card is just countering a spell without conditions for the same mana cost. Okay, close to the same mana cost. You can just draw 2 cards end of turn. Okay, this is not exactly the same that the Supreme Will is doing, but this is also really powerful. And we can gain the control of targets non-land permanents with consistent mana cost of 1 or less. And this ability is significant against some decks, especially in Modern. So this card is just better, and we really want to earn this card. This is really a good card. And after, and finally, we have the counter triggers. In the early versions, you will see about this deck, all the players run Disallow. Why? Because Disallow is just an art counter for 3, but Disallow is also countering activated or triggered ability. Basically, you use this card to counter like Relic of Progenitus ability and Grave 8 or Creature's ability. So that's why we are running 2 of those cards. I think this is still doing something in the deck, so you can still choose to play this card. Even it's not my choice for nowadays. You will see later in my list for the matches. Nimble Obstructionist is about the same thing, just counter, triggered, or activated ability when you're cycling it. Okay, so this guy is cycling 4-3. 4-3-1, this is really an high price, but also gets flash, also have a regular mana cost of 3, so you can just jam it into the party if you want to just attack your opponent with it. So this is a nice option you can have in sideboard or in the main deck for 1 copy, for example, not more than 1 copy, I really think. So you will see that. And now we are going to the lands. Lands in this deck are mostly islands because we are playing mono blue, of course. But we are running all lands. The early versions of the decks, due to the meta at that period and due of the choice of the players, running like 4 Field of Ruins. You will see that later. So that's one card played a lot in the deck. And of course, we have to run Tolai West. Tolai West is a land you can transmute for 1 and 2 blue. That means you have to discard it, search in your library for a card with converted mana cost of 0, because Tolai West is converted mana cost 0, and you can reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle the library to transmute. And you can transmute only as a sorcery. That's a downside, but other way it had been too powerful. Of course, we are running a few copies of this card. The first versions used to run 4 copies, but I think 4 copies was a lot, because coming with land tapped in this deck is really not what we want. But we have to find a living end, so I choose to run like 2 to 3. I think it's the highest number you should run nowadays. When we are going to new card, Mystic Sanctuary, we are playing mono blue cards with a lot of counter spells. Why not playing it? This card is just amazing. It's under untapped, and if you have 3 islands or more, and when this card is coming to the battlefield, you can just take an instant or sorcery from your grave and put it back at the top of your library. That allows us to go for the cryptic command loop. It's a new option if we consider the old version of this BlueEnd deck, so that's really interesting. I actually want to run 2 to 3 Mystic Sanctuary in my deck, and we can also take back the Living End to put at the top on our library. So this is the lands, and after we got just one interesting card, which is a tutor. This card is a creature we can transmute for 3. As I said, transmutation, it works with the converted mana cost of the card, so it's just a way to search for an As Foretold. Basically, it's just a fifth As Foretold of the deck. That's it. First list we had, as I told you in the beginning of the videos, was from 1310 Hazard, did a 501 MTG with that list. So this is the original document from the Wizard website, but we will just see the visual list of this guy. So this is the visual list. So it's of course running for As Foretold, for Living End, for Ancestral Vision, for casting free spell, and for the free spells. Cycle is running 4 Creator of Mysteries, 4 Street River Winder, 4 Street Race, and for 3 Architect of Will. As lands is running 12 Island, 4 Field of Ruin, and 1 Ghost Quarter. I feel this is a bit a lot, but that was the choice of the player at this period. And for Tolai West, I also think it's a bit a lot. As Counterspell is running the 4 Remand, as I said, it's a must-have. 3 Mana Leaks, 2 Dissolve, 3 Cryptic Comments. That's it for the main deck. Sideboard is 8 ley lines, so that makes sense to avoid the opponents to have some creatures in the grave. That makes sense to avoid at the same time the burn stacks, and which are really bad matchups, and also to avoid discard in the matchups where it's really key. 2 Oracles Recall to fight artifact stacks, 2 Dispel to fight really controlled matchup, and 3 Dismember to fight creatures will prevent us from doing our thing. So this deck looks really nice because I love it because it's really regular. It has a lot of 4 copies, and you know I'm in love with 4 copies cards decks. The thing is, this deck came to us in December 2017. Why? Because we have to wait that the Hour of Devastation came out with the Street River Winder. And actually, Disolo came out with Kaladesh. So this deck is coming out in 2017 December. So from this moment, a lot of lists will appear on the internet from good players and known players. The first really known players we will talk about is Gabriel Nassif. Gabriel Nassif brought us a list where he changed a list in December, also 2017, where he changed two things. He just chose to run 4 Serum Visions, and after he run close to the same list. So 21 lands, just one less Ghost Quarter and one less PROWESS. It also have just less counter spells than the other player to play the Serum Visions. In sideboard, Gabriel Nassif choose to run one really important card, will be really important in the deck, which is Chalice of the Void. Of course, we are playing no 1 mana spell in the deck. So Chalice of the Void is really powerful in the meta, so we run it when we have to run it. Also, Gabriel Nassif changed totally the sideboard plan with Ratchet Bomb, Thomas Crypt, Grabs the Ghost Cage, Oracle's Recall is the only card remaining. Sorcerer Spyglass, 1 negate, 2 Drake Haven. It's just another win condition, but the fact that we have to pay 1 each time we cycle makes this card really slow. Even it's actually another way to win the game. And Entrance Melody is a way to just stole a card from our opponents. So a little bit later, Gabriel Nassif chose to run another list, and this list is this one. It was in 2018. He chose to add some one-off in the deck, like Nimble Obstructionist main deck, Vandal Inclick main deck, CDC's Faithful, which is a really surprising card, and also Bojuka Bug. Gabriel Nassif chose to got out from the street race. I personally think that's not the best choice, and he also said it in the video he was running this deck. And after he chose to do another list, which is this one, with Kozilek and Ulamog, and this list is kind of surprising to me, but he wants to. I think the goal is to try the most things to stabilize the deck and see what is really efficient and what will just improve the impact of the deck on the game. Gabriel Nassif is actually for me the best French player, and this experience watching him playing this deck, just I learned a lot doing this. So you can just watch all the videos he put on YouTube about those decks. I will put the link down below because this is a really nice way to learn how to play the deck and how this deck is working. After we have Saffron Olive in 2017 also. He played the exact version of the deck which came out, so no other things to say about this, but MTGGoldfish is a big channel, and the fact that Saffron Olive tried to play it is pushing the deck forward, so I wanted to mention it. After we have PascalMayne. PascalMayne brought us an interesting list, and this PascalMayne is a pro player just playing for Channel Fireball, and also put in this deck the Supreme Will. So I think this is a really interesting point. He put back the Street Race, and I'm agree with this deck. So I'm really into the list he put here. I love the list at the period he was playing it, of course, not now, but and it should to play less Field of Ruin, which I think it's a good idea. One Bojuka box still, and the River of Tears. I see what he wanted to do with this, to have at least a chance to cast some black spells and to produce some black mana, but I'm not too convinced about this choice. Even I was not at the period he was playing this deck. The sideboard is also interesting. We have the Foley Line of the Void. We have 3 Nimble Obstructionists, which is a lot. 2 Orcus Recall, 2 Dispels, yes, 1 Thomas Crypt, and 1 Chalice of the Void to Dismember. So that's the list of PascalMayne in 2017. After we have a list of Gaby Spartz. Gaby Spartz, she's a pro player also, and the thing which is interesting in this list is she changed just one thing, but this one thing is really interesting because she just brought to us the idea of Drift of Phantasms. This card is the fifth As Foretold. So she brought it in the deck, and I think that was a really good thing and a really good idea for the deck. The entire deck is exactly the same deck as the original one all the way, so we don't have to uh, pay attention to it. Yes, she just changed the two Dispel for two Nimble Obstructionist. So that's it. After this one, we have the TGC player just playing it. It's exactly the same list as the first one, but I wanted to mention it. So now we are going to my list of this deck for today and for the matches we will play. So here is the list. But first of all, I want to say I gave you all the ID I could find about lists and cards in the deck. If you want to try to build this deck your own way, you can do it. I just gave you the basics to have a way to do it. So my choice to play this list in 2020 is this one. Because back in the days, I used to play this deck a lot, and some cards came out, and we have other solutions now. So I'm still playing 4 Living Ends, of course, and I'm playing only 3 Ancestral Vision because I need some space in my deck. I'm playing 4 Remains, 2 Mana Leaks, 4 As Foretold, 1 Rift of Phantasms to find the As Foretold, 3 Force of Negations, 2 Akma's Charm. So we are running a lot of counter spells. We are playing 3 Chaotic Command, and as cyclers, we are playing 4 Card of Mysteries, 4 Triple Winder, 3 Street Race, and 3 Waker of the Waves. So I feel really good about the number of cyclers we have, and for the lands, we are playing 3 Mystic Sanctuaries, 4 Polluted Delta, because flooding with this deck is easy and you don't want to do it. And of course, you can just search for Mystic Sanctuary with this Polluted Delta, so this is really powerful. We are also playing 2 Tolar West to find our free spells. In sideboard, we are playing bunch of artifacts, as you see. 2 Thomas Crypts, you can search with Tolar West, and we can jump from, we can just drop into the battlefield soon, because we have a lot of combo decks. Depending on the grave, we want to play it. After we have 2 Damping Sphere to fight TRON and other land decks, and of course maybe like some PROWESS decks could be useful. We running 2 Sorcerer Spyglass to find all the combo decks, and which have some activated ability, also good against TRON. We are running 2 Ratchet Bomb to destroy the creators, which are annoying for us. 2 Dragon's Claw to fight Burn and other PROWESS-like deck. 2 Brazen Rower to add some ways to take out the Grave 8 from the board, and also alternate win condition. We are running 3 Chalices of the Void, just for the reason I mentioned earlier. So that's the deck. We will try to play it for a bunch of matches, and I think the feeling will be good just because it feels like so back in the days for me, because I played a lot of versions after this original versions of the deck, but this version is, of course, actualized with 2020 cards. So let's see you for the first match in this episode with this BlueEnd deck. So, first game, first match. We are on the play. And the end we have is not too bad, so we're gonna keep it, especially on the play. We're gonna not cycling Street Race directly, we're gonna go for Mystic Sanctuary, because in a way we have the 2 things to search for our combo, but it will be really slow. Urza's Tower means we are playing against TRON. So we're going to cycle Street Race in response to find a potential force of negation. We are not finding any force of negation. So map will be on the board, and probably my opponents will have an early TRON. Which is really a thing we don't want to see, but sometimes you have no choices. So I think we will play Tolar West because we don't need to have remand up this turn. And as we draw another Tolar West, I think it's okay to play it now to have more mana up the next turns. Okay, so this is blue Tron. So they will not have Tron as soon as we thought. So this is a completely different matchup. It's more about control. And now, speaking about control, we have something. Gonna play Island. And we will keep remand up. Because maybe we have to go for our things now. Yes, I think I will try to go like Transmute Drift of Phantasms or Tolaya West. It's basically the same things. By this, we're gonna transmute this guy. We will get an As Foretold. Thing is, we can also take Arcmash Charm and Force of Negation to this guy, so that's not too bad. But now we have to take the As Foretold. Even the Force of Negation is tempting, but I will wait. Expedition map, they are looking for a Tron land, probably. There's a Spore Plant, but no Tron this turn, so that's why I choose to transmute now. Get an As Foretold. We get the Polluted Delta on the board. And I have to keep everything up for this turn. That's too risky. Go other ways. Thirst for knowledge for my opponent. I think I will remand this one. Get another land. Not too bad to get another land. They got Tron online, but looks like they ain't got no things to play with it. Two choice. I can fetch to another Mystic Sanctuary to get something bad, but I don't feel I have to do this. I will search for a simple island. And go for the Waker of Wave. Discard. One in our hand, the other in the grave. Mystic Sanctuary can take something back. So I will put this, the Mystic Sanctuary in our hand, because we are earning only 2, so, and put the Strip Winder in the grave. Another land, it's starting to be a lot of lands. That's the problem with this deck. So now we're gonna... I think we're gonna put As Foretold in. And not transmuting to our west. I knew they will have some counters. But we still have the remand. But the next turn will be key. Next turn will be the key. Depends what they got. If they got a big spell, maybe we will have some trouble. Depends what they have. Yes. Okay, Thirst. I was go down for Walking Ballista to get Oboro. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is a number I don't want to see. Chalice for 1 is really actually kind of stupid. I really don't know why they put Chalice in the 1 if they got Chalice. I'm about to say thank you. I'm really about to say thank you. So put a land on the board. Transmute to Lower West with Archmage Charm backup. So take the Living End. Not cycling the Current of Mysteries because we need it. Casting, we need to have the lands. Casting Living End right now. Got a Counterspell. Sure. But we got a Counterspell too. So Living End is resolving. Ballista is coming back, but it's not a problem for us. And now we have to wait the next turn to see if we are able to do something relevant. Because we can just fear something districts everything. Like Noble Linstone, something like this. Third for Knowledge, again, I can do nothing about it. But I still have Mystic Sanctuary and the ability of Current of Mysteries to get directly back my Living End. Also, I can Archmage Charm, but I think we are winning just because my opponents did really bad choice. Put it in this chalice and one probably didn't know my deck. But with what I did before, I don't see any word where Thundering Titan. My opponent hoped he had it before, but my board is really lethal. They have actually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 5. What is costing 5? Ballista? That's not powerful. This is just a 1-2. So actually, I feel even if it's playing blocking, oh, this one. No, I wanted to play Mystic Sanctuary to get Remand back, draw it, and have 2 counterspells up. Oh, it had been good, but they have to have just 1 counterspell maximum, so 10, 13. So I think we will try to go for the win. With tap all draw card with Cryptic Command. It's so bad that I didn't play the Mystic Sanctuary. And I played my island a bit speed. Okay, so no problem, finally. So let's attack my opponent and win the game. Yes. So let's go to sideboard. We are against TRON. They have some chalice. I think Brazen Borrower will come in. Crypt, nope. Damping Sphere definitely coming in. Ratchet Bomb really good against chalice. Spyglass is also usually good against TRON. Despite the fact we have 2 lands, so looks like nice to us. You have the way to fight this chalice. Relic of Progenitus. My opponent got the Grave 8. Nice opponent. Get it. We will be patient. No cycling, no early cycling for us. We'll be patient. Have the time to put this Ratchet Bomb on the board. I like if I'm not getting art counter on this one. I will get art counter. Please just play Remand. Yes, okay, Remand. Okay, yep, for this turn because we have nothing else to do. Lower West coming tapped. Try Ratchet Bomb again. It will arc or outcounted it. Okay, got it. But actually, that's a lot of resources. Okay. Okay. Have my Ratchet Bomb. And the funny thing is, Arcmar's Charm is actually a good answer. So we will try to do it end of turn. They will have to counter it. What? Okay, so in response, I will try to gain the control of your Relic of Progenitus. So you will crack it. Okay, so we got rid of the Relic of Progenitus. So that's nice. If they are clever, they will just discard big creatures like Wormcoil Engine. That's clever. Searching for another big creature. Oh, for Mindslaver. Okay. Uh, significantly worse this Ratchet Bomb now. We just want to have. Oh, maybe I should. No, it's okay. It's okay. Just want to have. Okay, so Remand is nice. So the fact that they have this Wormcoil Engine in the grave, turning things really complicated. Opponent's playing nothing. You got the As Foretold with one counter up. I feel this is not enough. We can't go for the As Foretold now. This is not the way. They choose to go for Tolar West. Choose to transmute Tolar West. I knew it's gonna happen, so we're gonna go for this thing with a remand this way. And we're gonna force it. We want to force it because of the Academy rune. Remand. I can remand a remand, but it's not working by any way. I will cryptic command. I think they get another one. Yes, they got another one. I can't play my own remand. I can pay 2. So that's not a big problem. Oh, this one is coming back in my hand. We're gonna go. We're gonna play it back. Yes, that's amazing. So they will have Worm Coil, but that's not a big of a deal because our living in will be so powerful. We'll play it. They will have the Womb Coil and 5 cards, but we'll see who will be the winner of this big board state. I wish I'd kept my cryptic command, but Mindslaver. Oh, I knew they got it. So they got the loop. So we probably dead. Yeah, gonna keep. I will surprise them playing clock, I think. Yes. Yes. For the moment. We also have played directly the Polluted Delta to have directly back the Akuma Charm. Now we get Counterspell up. Get the big Tron. Go down to 2. And it will blow up the map end of... They will not blow up the map end of turn. Now? Why now? And why not end of the turn? Got a Maroon, sure. At me for 7. And we won the match thanks to Brazen Bower. So the alternate win condition just turned us to win the game because we just put the Brazen Bower turn 3 on the board and we won through this. We're gonna still keep this hand. Not maybe the best hand I've ever saw, but we are playing its red or red black aggro. I think it's red aggro. Soulscar Mage. I feel I'm not gonna counter. I'm not gonna counter the Blood Moon. Don't feel I'm gonna counter this guy. This thing, sorry. Because at the end of the day, okay, it's stopping Mystic Sanctuary. This is annoying, but quick cycle, the street phase first. Gonna cycle. Retrieve a Winder. Get a Force of Negation. We're not gonna play it, but that's it. My opponent's probably surprised about what I'm doing now. Oh, Polluted Delta is not the way we want to go, so now we have to cycling this, and Polluted Delta will not be ideal. Please give me an island to comfort myself. That's precisely the opposite of an island. We're gonna let this resolve. Okay, probably not gonna hurt us too much. Yes, finally. It's really a control deck, and the kill is the living end, but that's really a control deck. Um, all those cards are quite useless. We are not in the best shape. I'm wondering if I want to put Rift on the board or not. I think I do want to put this Rift directly on the board to block my opponents. That's pretty surprising, but I will play it directly in the board. Yes, my opponent's probably surprised about this, but I think it's the best way to go considering what we have. If we draw a third losers, we'll be really fine. Oh, Flame Slash is bad. PROWESS. Okay, fireballs. Okay, so my wall is down. I could have force of negation, but will force of negation the lightning bolts. Will force. Can exile a cryptic and but I got two more lava art. So we did. We consider. So Chalice of the Void must have here. Dragon's Claw, really nice here. Ratchet Bomb is nice too. So I think also Damping Sphere is nice, but we can't board too much things. And no sideboard cards in our first hand. But still a nice hand thanks to this Akma's Charm. This one is a perfect target for my mana leak. Ah, it changed the approach I have the matchup now. Go for Chalice no 1. Too powerful, so one 8-piece for each of us. But I think now my Chalice is hurting them so much. Not gonna cycle because I will play the Archmage Charm, make this my own. Dragon's Claw is powerful, but now I want to take a turn to take the relic. Okay, so in response of this guy, gonna take the relic. Another one, Lord. My opponent's playing, just drawing all his card. I don't want to see. All the card I don't want to see is drawing it. The problem of this game is I have to win some way. Now, next turn is gonna be a big hit. Now again, no choice. I will transmute to Lower West right now. Go for Living End. And play the Dragon's Claw because I have nothing else to play. And just pray next turn for drawing an As Foretold. Because I will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They draw all me. Oh, I think they got it. Probably got it. So we'll see what we draw. Oh yes! How lucky we are. How lucky we are on this one. But this one is just about being lucky. 2 Brand Crusher will come back, but I don't think it's gonna make it for my opponent. Yeah, I agree that that's not nice. See, I will have two creatures, you will have two, but your two creatures are 3/3 thanks to the Waker of Waves. I don't think they have. Do they have some? If they try to flashback, it's not gonna work. Oh, Obosh. Okay, Obosh is powerful. Okay, I think this guy is saying when are you saying okay? If it's just quick. Oh, okay. Okay, it is doubles, but doesn't mean that it ain't got okay, not to worry for the moment. My opponent's taking 4. I want to put the Corrado Mysteries on the board and hope I'm not too greedy on this one. And I get lethal from this. Yes, we won this one. Oh, too bad we get one land. Too bad we get one land. But I can't risk this one. No cyclers, one land. Nope. Not for me. I want to have a sideboard card. Oh, I risked it for this. Okay, boy, I keep this one. Put this out. And this one also. Yes. That's surprising for my opponent, but that's nice to get it. Get this mana leak from for this. Opponent still have only 2 cards in hand. That's rough to handle. Now we just hope we draw Living End, naturally. Wow, light up the stage. Go down a 1. So we probably lost this match to this. Okay, we just lost to this, but thing is, I should have just not playing the Ancestral Vision on turn 1. That was not a wise choice. When you have As Foretold in hand, don't play Ancestral Vision 1. So we have this in hand, but it's not saving us by any way. We're gonna try it. Go for the max luck. Luck. So, welcome to another match. Here we are, still with this deck on the play. I think this end is okay on the play. Only blue. We are living in blue. Mystic Sanctuary first play for us. What's our opponent's gonna play? Stain. With Spear means like we are facing an aggressive deck. A lot of red decks these days. We have pretty solid sideboard against those kind of strategies, but still need to draw our cyclers and living in. We have the As Foretold. Okay, that's a perfect target. And cross. It's also nice. Oh, what the heck? My Exile Summons per guide, so I end this. Exile Summons per guide way earlier. Was really too early to do Exile Summons per guide. How my opponent's not weak. It's not thinking about kind of things. I think I will also drift. Fury Critics is annoying, so I have to control. I'm quite lucky on this. Take Sanctuary, take back Cryptic Command. On top. So, Ancestral Vision targeting me. I have the PROWESS for next turn. I think I got nothing to complain about this one. But I'm still at 5, so that's still frightening. If I take 1, I'm okay. If I take more, I'm not. I take 1, okay. After cycling. After cycling. And after cycling. This guy is not gonna be cycled. Take 1 in hand. Now, okay, I was not even sure myself, but now I'm quite sure. Okay, so let's keep this one. And for us, ratchet bombs coming to the party. My opponent goes straight forward to go as fast as possible. But we are not in good shape. Depends what my opponent's drawing, but crack, basic blast thing. We are getting basically blasted. Right, light up stage, cycling with of waves. Mystic Spray is like a charm I take. Mystic my hands. Standing, light up a stage. Human Spirit Guide is so bad against me. Mystic Sanctuary take the Art Marshal back. Cards for my opponent. Of the turn, I will go waves. Difficult choice. Difficult choice. Really difficult choice. I take the chalice. Only have to. For the moment, I'm worried to get light up the stage and two unknown cards. I have no way to fight this. Free, like Alchemist Charm. Basically, no one drop, and the two drops are getting countered. So I draw two cards. Post of negation is Nice cards to have. 2 force navigation is, oh no, 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 I messed up. Okay, I messed up. I messed up much. Side of stage. And as foretold, finally. So, don't mess up. Oh, I feel I will wait 1 turn. I will wait 1 turn. Get back my Akuma's Charm to be able to take this Grim Lavamancer myself. A 4, 3, back Akuma's Charm. Now we are pretty sure about what we're gonna do. In Island, or 3, as foretold. A living end. A Archmarch Charm to get the control of this guy. And still get force of negation at my end. So I feel quite ahead now. And that was my last shot. Now I have to win. I don't have the win yet. Depends on what I'm drawing. Oh, my opponent's conceding. Hey, so let's do a little bit of feedback after playing those 3 matches with the BlueEnd list. Actually, I played more than 3 matches. I played exactly 4, 5, 6 matches with it, and I won 2 others, lost the last one. So I feel the deck is pretty comfortable to play. It's really more the feeling that you are playing a blue deck with a control deck with some win condition you have to find, like in regular control deck, but with cyclers and bunch of tricks. Mystic Sanctuary is really an upside to the deck. I don't see deck really going well without this Mystic Sanctuary thing, so I really loved it. Love to play it in the deck now. That's so nice to play. Also, what I liked is playing a bunch of Akma's Charm because we can do many tricks. I like decks with tricks. So Akma's Charm is a trick card. Mystic Sanctuary is 1, 2. Wake of Waves was really good. Was really good to play in this kind of decks. But I still think maybe it's a little bit slow for the versions of the deck we'll talk later, like the most important here is the ElectroEnd deck. But now we are still into the BlueEnd. So if you want to play BlueEnd today, I don't think it's the best choice because As Foretold is powerful, but it's not that powerful that you can just run the As Foretold. You have to run all the way to play the deck, and that all the way we all know is the Electro dominance. We will talk later. So I enjoyed a lot the feeling of the old school feeling of BlueEnd. At least we won a couple of games, and also against some aggressive decks. We have the Cryptics and Loop, which is nice too. So I'm really happy about what I did with this deck, but I'm playing it. I really know because I'm playing a lot, and I mean really a lot of games with Electrodominance. I know the Electrodominance deck is just better. Sometimes in the game we just played, I was so stressed about, oh, I'm gonna draw the right card or not. But it's less the case with the Electrodominance deck because we got just more way to kill my opponent and more way to put our free spells out. But we'll talk about this later. So I hope you enjoyed those matches and all the presentation of the deck before. So now it's the second episode of the ElectroEnd Chronicles. The third one will come soon. I hope you enjoyed. It's still MTG Adventures on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with your friends, and you can also join me on my Twitch community on Master Horse MTG. That's written in the screen and on the screen. And I hope you had a great time, and I hope to see you soon on MTG Adventures.